Hello and welcome to Small Town Big Screen. I'm one of your hosts, Manny Manuel.
And I'm Kyle Robertson. And thank you for joining us here today for our very first episode of our very first season of this podcast, where we will be reviewing and talking about the local impact of movies made in our hometown, which is Kamloops.
This episode will be on Power Rangers, made in 2017. It was released March 24th, 2017. The director is Dean Israelite.
Now, Dean is of some note from Little Wing and Project Almanac. Little Wing is very high on my watch list.
That's awesome. Written by John Gattens, Matt Sazama, and Burke Sharpless, based off characters created by Haim Sabin, starring, is it Dacre Montgomery, Naomi Scott, R.J. Seiler, Ludi Lin, Becky G, Elizabeth Banks, and Bryan Cranston. It has a Metascore of 44, not good, and a Letterboxd score of 2.5, also not the greatest.
Solid middle ground.
Yeah. Filming locations of Kamloops, BC, Vancouver, and Steveston, all in British Columbia. The plot: when Earth is on the verge of an alien invasion, 5 teenagers who are infused with superhuman abilities must harness their newfound powers to battle this threat as the Power Rangers. Now, Kyle, why don't you share your spoiler-free thoughts on Power Rangers?
All right, so the first thing that I want to say about Power Rangers is it is so cool to see that much of Kamloops in a movie that big.
Yeah.
Like, that big budget. There was so many places that I went as a kid, especially there's a scene with a train crossing.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go there all the time, hiked around there, fished around there.
That's out in Brock.
Past
Brock. Yeah, like out towards Padova.
Yeah.
That's still Brock to me.
Okay.
Anything past the North Shore is Brock.
All right, settle down. Settle down.
Okay, what's it called then?
Trunkiel.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's so fair. Trunkiel Creek, right there. I call it Trunkiel.
Right.
Also, can I just say, the place called Padova that you're referring to was only called Padova for 3 years. The entire rest of its existence, it's been some variation of Trunkiel.
Yeah, but everyone calls it Padova.
I don't call it Padova.
Well, that makes you
a contrarian.
An outsider. You are not cool.
The Outsiders was a very cool movie.
That is rough. That is a rough one.
I just needed to get that out of my system.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Your spoiler-free thoughts on the film.
My spoiler-free thoughts. Yeah. So it was really cool to see all those places. There's actually a couple places that I've filmed before, and I've done my own short films there before.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really just cool to see, and interesting to see how that same space gets utilized by a big budget. But to the merits of the actual movie, once you get past the Kamloops of it all and the hometown of it all, it could have been a good movie. I think it missed the original camp that Power Rangers hit really well, but didn't fully miss the superhero movie vibe. It kind of hit somewhere in between both, but not in a great way.
Okay.
Not in the worst way. There were parts I liked. There were some things that I thought were well done. I wasn't that mad about a lot of the acting. I thought that maybe with another movie, some characters could be easier to relate to and you could know more about them. I think they were just not given the time of day for a lot of the movie. Yeah, other than that, I've seen this twice now, and both times it was a pleasant surprise. It was about 4 or 5 years between each viewing.
Mm-hmm.
So I both times went into it thinking it was going to be a complete steaming pile of just mess.
Yeah.
But both times I got out of it and I was definitely seen worse.
Okay.
Definitely seen worse. And there were parts I genuinely enjoyed.
All right.
What were your spoiler-free thoughts?
Before we move on to me, though, what's your history with the Power Rangers themselves?
Oh, yeah. So I I consumed some of the original series as
Okay.
a kid. I had like some toys. I wasn't super into Power Rangers, but I really liked the idea of Power Rangers, but I just never participated in it a lot. But if someone was like, "Do you like do you like Power Rangers?" As a kid, I would be like, "Yeah, 100%."
Okay.
I was always into the red one. Thought that was the best Ranger.
All right. Well, yeah, red rules. We know that. So I have no connection to the Power Rangers whatsoever. I was too old when they came out, so they were not cool to me. So when this movie was being made in Kamloops, I was pretty excited that a movie was being made in Kamloops, but I did not care at all. That was about the Power Rangers. The only person at the time that I knew of that was in it was Elizabeth Banks and Bryan Cranston. So going into this was my first time watching it. And I was pleasantly surprised somewhat. I'll be honest, it takes a little too long for them to become Power Rangers for a movie
Yeah.
called Power Rangers. I was actually unprepared over how excited I was to see Kamloops on my TV. There's a shot very early on from Rose Hill Road that just overlooks the city, and I literally giggled with glee, and I was not expecting to have that kind of reaction. I did enjoy the movie more than I thought I was going to. I will definitely give it that. What I will say is that I actually enjoyed some of the characters, especially the main two. The other three really well. It's actually not true. I've actually forgotten characters' names, and I'm sorry about that. The Blue Power Ranger.
Billy Cranston, played by R.J. Seiler.
Nice. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. That character did have a pretty decent amount of screen time and story as well. It's kind of the other two,
Mm-hmm.
for lack of a better term, the Quarry Kids is basically what they were. they seem to be like living in the rock quarry.
Yeah.
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 Whatever. They had a couple scenes that tried to dive a little deeper into them, but sadly, I think they were pretty underutilized. But I had a decent time with the movie. A better time than I thought, for sure.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't that great of a movie.
Okay. You're gonna say it wasn't that great of a movie, but it was nominated for 6 Teen Choice Awards.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wasn't a teen.
You got to live in that mindset.
No, I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree. Like if there was an old man award,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be like, this movie is good because it got 6 old man award nominations, right? No, you wouldn't. So just because the teens liked it doesn't mean that I had to.
That's fair. It actually didn't win any. It was only nominated.
Yeah.
Well, I think 4 of the Power Rangers were nominated in some capacity for a Teen Choice Award.
Which one was left out?
You
don't know?
The only Power Ranger not nominated for a Teen Choice Award, I believe, was I forgot his name again.
Ludi Lin.
Ludi Lin, who plays the Black Power Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
And the other 4 were all nominated.
Interesting.
Elizabeth Banks was nominated for Best Villain.
That's unfortunate.
And the movie itself was nominated for Best Sci-Fi.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Teen Choice Awards. Gotta love them.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love them.
Maybe I should look back and see what Teen Choice Awards there were when I was a teen to see how much I agree with them.
Yeah.
I do that now, but we don't have the time.
I'd be so interested in how the Teen Choice Awards picks their, like, which demographic of teens. Like, is this worldwide? Is this US only?
It's North America only.
Yeah?
100%. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%.
Intriguing that Power Rangers made the cut for them multiple times. 6 times.
Oh, you're talking like 2017.
Yeah.
Oh, it might be a little bit more worldwide. I thought you were talking about when I was a teen.
Oh, yeah.
Like we didn't care about the outside of North America.
Yeah. Things were a little more closed off.
A little bit.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So,
Should we go into spoilers?
I think we should go into spoilers.
All right, we're going to talk about. So we're now going to spoil parts of the movie. This is our spoiler section. We are going to count down our 5 favorite things about this film.
Get ready for it. And if you want to watch this movie before we ruin it, go do it. Come back. We don't mind.
Yeah, this is your chance. Spoilers coming out. All right, so we're going to count down our 5 favorite things in this film, but we haven't yet decided on the order of which we are going to count them down. Who gets to go first? My esteemed colleague has decided that we are going to have a rock, paper, scissors match to determine who goes first or who gets the choice.
You got to keep it simple. Who gets the choice or I mean, if it's who gets the choice, then we're just going to waffle on it.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
So what you're saying is that you are going to waffle on it.
Probably.
All right.
Let's see. No, let's see.
No.
I'm good at a couple game time decisions. I can do this. Let's go. Rock, paper, scissors.
We definitely have proven that you are not by what went on before we started recording. So winner goes first. Ready?
Winner goes first. All right.
I'm doing this with mics.
All right. On shoot.
Okay.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
All right.
You're going first.
I'm going first.
Your number 5.
My number 5.
Your 5 favoritist thing.
My 5 favoritist thing.
Yeah, your 5 favoritist.
Number 5.
Yeah.
There was a line that just made me laugh a lot.
Okay.
It comes pretty early. But it's funny and it came out of nowhere. And that was when RJ Seiler and Dacre Montgomery are first at the quarry.
Okay.
And RJ Seiler's Billy Cranston says, "I'm on the spectrum." To which the Red Ranger replies, "What is that, a workout program?" And I died.
Really?
That got me.
That's sad.
That got me.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
That one got me good.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, that didn't make my list.
No?
No.
Surprised.
No.
I thought it was just, I didn't see it coming from what I kind of, like, I went into it kind of thinking Teen Choice Awards type movie.
Okay.
And I thought they would play it a little bit more safe than that. Not that that's particularly racy or anything, but it was funny. It came out of nowhere for me.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it that much. My number 5 is kind of almost a section of the film.
Okay.
And it is the actual, while it's not referred to as this in the movie, it's what we would refer to as the Victoria Street battle.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Seeing Victoria Street on the big screen was pretty exciting. Trying to pick out, like, because they flip back between Steveston and Kamloops, which is really funny.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, we don't have a location like that. I'm like, where along the river is that? And then I realized quickly, I'm like, oh, that's not here. So the cutting back and forth was jarring.
Yeah.
When I'm watching them fly down Seymour Street, and the next thing I know, I see an ocean in the background. I'm like, that's messed up.
I was actually impressed at how good a job they did at making Kamloops look like a smaller place than it actually is in that scene. Like, it's not that Kamloops is a small place, but it's not that big. They did a really good job making it look like a very small town, like truly small town.
Yeah, they did.
So I was impressed with that. And obviously also recognizing all the stuff was really cool. I love this in your top 5.
Awesome. What's your number 4?
My number 4. We're moving on to an actor who I enjoyed throughout. That is Dacre Montgomery.
Nice. I love that choice.
I thought he was giving the Red Ranger vibes very well the whole time. Played the part well. He went on to do very cool things. He's clearly a gifted.
The same year.
The same year?
Yeah, if we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, Stranger Things?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I needed to know. I need to know which came first.
Because when do you know? Can you dish? Tell me.
He would have filmed this first.
This was first. Okay.
Yeah. At least I'm fairly positive. I'm going to double check that in one quick moment while you talk about. But I just want to say this thing. It took me a while to realize who he was.
Yeah.
I recognize you, and it was eating me, and then I finally realized I'm like, Oh, that's Billy from Stranger Things, and I got super excited. So if you want to talk about him for a bit, I want to double check my time frame on which did come first.
For sure. Yeah, no, I thought he just did a really good job. I thought he played the kind of conflicted role really well. Um, it was a movie where I think that the actors were maybe not given the most depth to, explore. But he did a good job exploring what he had, and probably one of the characters with more depth written in out of all of them. But I thought he did a really good job. Played the Red Ranger well. There's a couple of faltering moments, but nothing that didn't feel maybe natural to the character, I would say, and to the movie as a whole. Honestly thought all of the Rangers did a pretty swell job. Like none of them were completely like stand out bad for me. But I think and we'll get into this a bit more later. But things falter in other places in this movie, which is a shame because I think that the team that they got together for the Rangers was quite good, and being led by Dacre Montgomery and kind of focusing on him and his skill as an actor at portraying this character, I think was correct. Good calls on all of those fronts.
Okay. So a quick search. This came out in March of 2017, and Stranger Things came out in October of 2017. So I couldn't quite find the filming schedule for Power Rangers, but I would have to assume that he would have filmed this. We know for a fact that this came out before Stranger Things. Yeah. So I would have to assume with the post-production on, because the CGI in this is fairly heavy, but there's also a lot of post-production on Stranger Things. So it's definitely filming this first, then Stranger Things.
Good for him. Strong year.
Okay, my number 4. When Zach's Zorb, and that's the Black Power Ranger.
Ludulin?
Yes, Ludulin. When he goes into his Zorb, and it goes on a rampage, before he's ready to do it, he's in a Triceratops or a rhino or something. Yeah.
Right.
It is shot down the road from my house.
Okay, I saw that.
Yes.
And I saw that, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Manny's.
100%. It's like 5 minutes down Shuswap Road from my place.
Nice.
There's nowhere else that looks like that. With that road, it is 100% over there. And when I saw it, I lost my mind. I had to rewind it. So I was so excited, and like I said, I was unprepared for how excited I was to see my hometown on the big screen, even though I didn't watch it in the big screen. Seeing it, like, I literally like yelled in excitement, and that was one of the fun parts about watching this movie, was seeing our hometown on the big screen. I had a really great time with that. So because of my excitement for a 2-second shot, maybe, it is my number 4 of the film. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think when that happened, I genuinely like said to absolutely no one else in the room with me, Manny's gonna love that.
Yeah, I sure did. All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3, we are moving on to a scene.
Ooh.
A scene. We've got Trini at home with her family.
Oh.
Holy, I just thought that, I again thought it was really funny. I thought that the parents, for the amount of time they're given in the movie, did such a good job at just portraying the family and her 2 brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, they were so funny. They were really good.
You're talking about the dinner scene where her mom is just ragging on her.
Just like tearing her to pieces in front of the whole family. There's no lead up. There's no ease in. It's just like, hey, you're terrible, by the way. Which like, I don't think the writing's not like stellar. But I enjoyed that scene, for sure. Definitely. And Trini's like reactions were really good.
Nice.
I thought she did a good job.
Okay, cool. I like that. That was your number 3.
That was my number 3.
My number 3 is, again, this one's definitely local as well, like my number 4 was.
A local boy today.
It's at 13 minutes and 58 seconds of the film. This is the beautiful shot of Kamloops Rose Hill Road.
Mm.
The next shot, though, is immediately out in the Tranquille area.
Yeah.
And so that made no sense as someone who lives here. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And even the terrain itself don't match. But it made me laugh being a local. But that shot of Kamloops from Rose Hill Road just warmed my heart.
Yeah.
It really, really did. I was, again, like I say, it might be a theme going forward. I was really unprepared for how much I love seeing Kamloops in a movie. And so that shot is like chef's kiss gorgeous. I'm not talking like cinematography wise. It's just a really nice shot of our city. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, it's at 13 minutes and 58 seconds.
Heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, that's my number 3.
I love that. I love that you're picking so much local stuff. I honestly kind of like making my list kind of just forgot about it. But that was a big enjoyment factor of this movie for me, was just like all of the local things you're seeing. Again, like I touched on it before, like seeing things that you've been to, and like I pass by that all the time. And I think it's really helped by, for whatever faults you may give this movie, it looks like a big budget blockbuster.
It does. This movie actually looks really good. It's filmed really well.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. It's really cool to see your hometown that never gets shown like that being shown like that. That feels cool. So yeah, I love that you're picking all this local stuff.
Sweet. What's your number 2?
My number 2. We're moving on to game time decision. I'm switching for sure. My number 2 is the visual effects.
Oh.
And when I was thinking about that, I was including the local aspect of like seeing downtown get ripped apart.
Okay.
Seeing like these monsters crawling out of hills in like where I hike. That was really cool. And I thought the visual effects themselves were actually done quite well.
I agree.
Like no complaints. It looks solid. Everything looks good. They did a really good job of the physics of things that, like, it's like Transformers. Like, I'm just impressed with how they animate and do the CGI for that type of physics that just doesn't exist.
Yep.
Like all of this metal and rock kind of coming together in a certain way. I thought it was really cool.
Sure.
So good on them. I enjoyed that.
I like that. Number 2. High.
It is high.
It's high on your list.
It's high.
All right.
It was a recurring thing throughout the movie, was good visual effects.
Okay. I love it. My number 2 was actually probably the biggest shock that I felt during the movie. And it is, again, we are in spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to remind that. We gave a spoiler warning earlier. It's Billy's death. Now, it's not that his death was shocking.
Yeah.
It's that I almost felt something. And part of it was 100%. I wrote this down. It's the rendition of Stand By Me. Now, that song is really important to me growing up because of a film you watched recently, the movie Stand By Me. But that song is, the song itself is incredible. But this rendition, and I did not find out who sang it. The version of that song, along with, and I'm sorry, is it Dacre? Dacre. Dacre's acting in that scene was stronger than I was anticipating for a movie like this. And I found myself going, I'm actually feeling something, and that's really weird because this movie isn't quite up to snuff to get me to feel the way I'm feeling right now. So I had to acknowledge it, but that rendition of Stand By Me definitely helped. Like, it's perfect mood setter for that kind of quote unquote dramatic moment.
Yeah.
So I had to put it high. It is my number 2 thing of the film.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah.
Good moment for sure.
Cool. All right.
I love that you said all of that, because my number 1 for the whole movie is the soundtrack.
The soundtrack?
Yes. Not the score.
No, there's a difference.
The soundtrack. I loved it. So many good songs. Not necessarily songs that I think were like teen popular in 2017, but songs that I personally liked a lot. I thought they were used well, and they were used often. It felt like a proper big blockbuster, tons of money into good music kind of situation, and they used it well. And I found myself throughout the movie just vibing to the music, singing along, having a good time with that. So my number one, definitely the soundtrack.
Cool. And I just quickly looked it up. Stand By Me was performed by Jordan Beckett.
Jordan Beckett.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. That's a great number one. Wow, I never would have thought that.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah.
All right.
The whole time I was just like singing along, having a good time.
All right. My number one
Okay.
is a quote.
Oh,
It's my favorite quote that genuinely garnered a laugh from me
nice.
because it is a reference to one of my all-time favorite movies. It is a quote from the character Billy Cranston, and he goes, "Yippee-ki-yay, mother's good, mother's good." So that legitimately got a laugh out of me.
Nice.
Because I was like, whoa, nice. Because I legitimately thought he was going to say it because I'm so used to it being said. And for those of you wondering, it is a reference from Die Hard, one of my all-time favorite movies. So I got a really good chuckle out of that. That is my number one thing from this movie.
He plays it well.
He does.
RJ Seiler plays it really well.
He does a really good job in the whole movie. I'm kind of sad he didn't make my list now that I think of it.
Yeah. Overlooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's quite good.
On to a segment of the podcast that we're going to try and be as gentle as we can. And these are the things that we didn't like about the movie. We're going to try and keep this short. Kyle and I both have two things we didn't like. Kyle went first with our top five, so I'll go first. I'm going to reveal both of mine if that's okay.
Yeah, do it.
Cool. So the first thing I didn't like, I really hated the underwater fight scene. It made no sense to me.
Yeah.
It didn't look that good. And it just didn't work for me in any way, shape, or form. It was not exciting, thrilling, or anything. It just, I don't want to say it looked bad. When I say it looked bad, it didn't look bad CGI-wise because everything looked realistic, but it just didn't look good. Like an underwater fight scene is pretty boring, and this was not good for me. Thoughts on it?
You're not wrong.
Okay.
There were bits and pieces out of it that I thought were nice. Again, the visual effects kind of came through a little bit there, which I think I took maybe a bit more focus on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I see where you're coming from for sure.
I'm going to end with the thing, my least favorite thing.
Oh no.
Yeah. And this one makes me sad because I genuinely like this person. Elizabeth Banks is not good in this movie. She is. Now I understand, 100% understand that they are trying somewhat for the same tone and theme of the show, which is a little campy, a little cheesy. But the reason she sticks out so much is that the 5 Power Rangers are not playing cheesy, especially Dacre. Dacre's playing this, honestly, quite seriously. And I like him for doing that.
Yeah.
It kind of elevates everyone else. Like even RJ Seiler, who is on the spectrum, as he says, has a few moments, and while they are comedic, they're not goofy. And everyone else is kind of along the same lines. They're playing it not quite realistic, but they are not going campy.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Banks is, and it is not a good balance there. That was a poor choice by her, and sadly a poor choice by the director to not equal them out.
Yeah.
All he needed to do is just tell her to tone it down. But yeah, she is, and in my notes I have it, no bueno.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A no bueno from Manny is
Yeah.
no bueno.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. I could not include her because I believe she's acting in the movie that it was supposed to be. Even though I like the serious acting, I like where it all went on that front. I do believe that she's in the movie that is intended to be. When you go to see a Power Rangers movie, she was in the right movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't fault her enough to put her on my list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I should have put Dean Israelite on there.
Not super wrong.
I'm just saying, like, someone's at fault. So it's either...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Ultimately, like, you can put together a ton of gifted people and they can still make something bad.
Yeah, it's called Monuments Men.
Straight under the bus.
It's called Justice League. It's called The Flash.
There you go.
Actually, never mind. I'll pump the brakes there.
Yeah, we'll call it there.
I'm going to pump the brakes.
All right. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's the director's responsibility to make sure the movie is of the same tone.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I might have put it a little bit more on him than her. Again, I think she's in the right movie. It's just not this Power Rangers movie.
Yeah.
It's any other Power Rangers movie.
Yeah.
Just not this one.
I just didn't like her.
Fair.
But I like her in like almost every other movie she's in.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah.
She's great.
So it hurt my heart. It hurt my heart to put her on this list. But she's at the top of it.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Do better. Do better next time. Your list.
My list. So my list, I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid. It's the directing and the writing. So like
wow. Those are the two things on your list?
Yeah. So the directing, I've already hinted at it. Like the tone didn't feel consistent. There were places where I could feel the editor was repairing something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this film was delayed for something like 8 months because Lionsgate said the film needed to find itself. Not a good sign for your director. It might have been too much too fast. Maybe he was handcuffed by the studio. I don't know what happened. All I know is pieces didn't come together how you would want them to. And again, like, I don't think this is a like stupendously bad movie by any stretch.
I went in expecting that though.
Oh yeah, everyone here talks about it like it's that. Like they put it next to like The Room. I think maybe it's like fun to rag on the hometown movie a little bit. It's not that bad.
I agree.
It's not on that level.
I agree.
Though he is on my list, I don't think he did a terrifically horrible job.
Okay.
However, the writing.
Okay.
The writing takes a spin. I don't like the dialogue. I don't particularly like the story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the pacing, which may not have been their fault. They have also been a director thing. They're both on the list, so whatever. The characterization needed work. They needed more space, more time, more like anything other than like more cutscenes.
They needed more time, but this movie needed to be shorter.
Yes. Yes. They need to become Rangers right away, and then you discover their problems.
I wish I had written down how long it took them to actually become Power Rangers, because it's way too long.
And also, like, they don't get their suits for so long. I understand it's a story device, but I want to see the suits, man. Give me the suits. Maybe they get part of a suit.
Yeah.
Or maybe this whole thing happens early in the movie. I don't know.
Whatevs.
This movie, I want to spoil some trivia for later. I'm not going to do it because it's funner for later.
Right. Sure.
But that's where I'm at, man.
Okay.
Those are my two.
Let's
move on.
Now we're going to move on to our peek behind the curtain, where we have Ray Salmond joining us to discuss his experience with the film being filmed near his business.
Right outside the front door.
Mm-hmm.
So come with us as we take a peek behind the curtain.
Welcome to a peek behind the curtain on the first episode of Small Town Big Screen. We have Ray here with us to discuss the effect the movie Power Rangers had on his business and his experience working downtown. Welcome, Ray.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you very much for joining us, Ray.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Well, I have a hair salon downtown. I've been open for the last 15 years. And prior to our move last year to the new location, we were at 360 Victoria Street, which is right in the heart of downtown.
And right in the heart of Power Rangers filming.
Right in the heart of Power Rangers filming. Absolutely.
How many days did the show shoot for? Because I actually couldn't find a solid number of days.
It seemed to me that it was on and off for about a month. It was slated to be sort of 1 week. They hand out flyers and say that it was going to be from this date to this date, and it was usually a week, 4 days at a time. And I want to say that there was about 4 of those blocks of time, so somewhere in the vicinity of a month.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was that long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they kept moving the segments around the downtown core, so it would be just from, say, like 3rd to 4th on Seymour, and then 3rd to 4th on Victoria, and they just kept moving around that way, so it wasn't complete shutdown at all times. But
They were never on Lansdowne because that's where I was at that time.
right. Yeah, I think they just did Victoria Street and Seymour. And then the cross streets.
Yeah. Definitely by Zach's.
Definitely by Zach's. Yeah, they were by Zach's, and of course, some of the old landmark buildings. Like I think the Island Cigar Factory building is in there. I can't remember all the historical buildings that were included, but yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I think they actually blew up Zach's.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, they
Yeah,
did.
yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, but if you look back, I want to say that there's a brief moment of the House of Carmen sign in the movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm 100% looking for it.
Yeah.
So how many days did they actually have? So they only shut down like the front of your business, or was it partially open? Or
Our business remained open. There was one segment they tried to allocate the timeline to work around the businesses on Victoria Street. So the shooting that they had done directly in front of my business was after closing, I believe, on one day. So they were really great. Like the production crew came in and sort of had a conversation about trying not to affect the businesses as much as they could. And I want to say that one day we actually shut down early to allow them to sort of have access to the whatever. And then we made some allowances for our clients to use the back door of our salon as well to go in and out of there. So yeah, we just made do.
nice.
Yeah.
And so would you say did it have any kind of negative effect, or was it?
No, it was actually the opposite. It had a really positive effect. I feel like people were really engaged and really excited. My demographic for my business is the mainstay of my demographic is probably 25 to 55. That age group is not going to be watching Power Rangers. So they weren't invested as like a fandom sort of based idea, but they were just cool with being involved in a movie, right? It was kind of neat to be in my salon and having your hair done and look out the front window and see boulders tumbling by with people screaming and running. It was like, oh, this is cool.
So you're actually like working while they're like
Yeah.
shooting these scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Like again, I haven't seen it for a really long time. I watched it to see if we could see my salon, of course.
Of course you did.
Right? But I don't remember seeing any of us like clinging to the window or anything as the boulders rolled by. Kept a safe distance. Yeah.
Nice. What? Obviously, if there's boulders everywhere, it's some kind of like explosion.
Yeah.
Crazy scene. Was that the entirety of what they were shooting around your place? Was it like just wild 24/7?
Yeah, pretty much. So initially when they were setting up, they seemed to be sort of setting the stage for the township. I want to say it's called Angel Falls, if I'm not mistaken.
Angel Grove?
Angel Grove,
yeah.
something like that. And so initially the layout was replacing cop cars. So that's the first thing we noticed. And then we noticed that all of the vehicles that were brought in weren't actually belonging to people. I don't know where they brought them from, but they had all the plates changed. And I want to say it was a California license plate or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's what we were noticing first. So that's kind of what was being set up, was just sort of to make it look like the town. And then systematically, as they moved shooting location to location, the destruction got bigger. So outside on, it would have been on 3rd, was when we first noticed. I think that was one of the first scenes that they shot of, I think it's Parker Posey, is it not?
No, Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Banks, right? That's the main villain antagonist. And I can't remember if she brings some sort of dinosaur, she becomes a dinosaur. I don't really know. Again, I didn't watch the movie for the fandom. It was just because it was here. But they started filming it, and there was a police car on its roof on 3rd, and then pieces of vehicles and massive, what looked like pieces of cement and boulder. So clearly the villain had, been destroying buildings and that sort of thing. So it's,
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you get to walk around set at all? Or?
We did, yeah. They were trying to usher people away. Clearly, they don't want people just meandering through a set. But over the month, you got kind of used to seeing some of the crew, and they were a little bit lenient with those of us that were working downtown. So yeah, there was times where you go and pick up a foam boulder and chuck it. Yeah, it was fun.
Nice. Did you feel like a superhero?
I certainly did. Yeah, I felt really, really masculine at that point in my life.
Nice. Should get you in the next Power Rangers.
Right, absolutely, right. The whole new twist on that one. Yeah.
Did you get to keep anything? Did you pocket anything?
No. They were. There was always a watchful eye for sure. Yeah, they were
pretty good about
keeping
that,
tabs on the boulders for sure. Yeah.
Just a massive boulder in the center
of
the hair salon. Oh, I swear it was here.
I swear that was here. They dropped it off.
So would you be open to a similar experience in the future? Like if another movie came and said like, hey, we want to shoot outside your business again. Like,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool. Regardless of the topic of the movie, regardless, right? It's fun to be involved in a project like that. Again, as far as a business owner, my clients were really intrigued and fascinated. It's not every day that you get to be involved in a production of a movie, right? I myself have never been to Disneyland or places like that. So I've never, Universal Studios, things like that. So I've never been in it. Like, when you go to these theme parks at Universal and you're there and you sort of feel like you're part of it. I've never done that. So this was the first time that I had ever experienced that. And man, it was really cool, regardless of the movie.
That's awesome. Sounds like we have to get you out on set sometime.
Yeah, totally. I would love it.
Was there any other like interesting parts or anything, maybe something you'd like to see in the future regarding like the business relationship with films in Kamloops, or maybe film commission stepping in or anything like that? Or did you feel the production self-managed themselves well enough?
I think from an outsider's perspective, the production crew was all about self-management. To my knowledge, they didn't bring, and again, I'm only assuming, but I didn't hear about anything being brought in from the community to help. Yeah. Other films that have come and gone that I know about, that I've been in town for, that have arrived in the past, they've sort of sequestered local salons to possibly help out with, hair and makeup, or other businesses that are, a local coffee shop that can bring, coffee to the production team or whatever. And so I would like to see more of that. Like if we're going to continue to utilize Kamloops and area for, a jump off point for a lot of filming of scenes and stuff for these big budget films, I'd like to see more involvement with the community. I just think it goes, it creates a sense of camaraderie, with the community you're filming in. So I'd like to see more of that for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, I felt like I was just getting out of high school around the time of Power Rangers. And it felt really cool. Like the whole town kind of seemed to come together for it.
100%.
Yeah, working on some movies here, usually people here feel supportive.
Yeah.
The occasional person, but usually people here are quite supportive, and it's very nice. But yeah, I like what you're saying about involving local business. Like I think that's super important if the film industry is going to continue to grow here,
for sure.
Which hopefully it does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Like, I think like the excitement of the Power Rangers movies being like right in Kamloops really heightened things for everybody. There was like a little buzz about the city when it was happening.
Yeah.
And I agree. Like a movie that comes into a small town, they should. I shouldn't say they should. It would be nice for them to incorporate more of the people of that city into the production. Like
Agreed.
you said, like getting a local coffee shop, like not Starbucks, get a local coffee
Yeah.
shop to get them to supply maybe coffee for the crew and stuff like that.
For sure.
Asking, like you said, local hairdressers, anything, like obviously they can always get extras in here, but anything like that to help the community and to create a bond between the community and the film industry
Yeah.
would really help. And then that would make the film commission and stuff and the locals more open to more productions coming here.
Agreed.
Right. So if it's going to help out both just the excitement and obviously the economy, which is the bottom line
For sure.
for what it is, if it just helps it out in any way, it would just add to the level of excitement and the desire for more films and
Yeah.
more productions to come here.
Yeah, I definitely know that in the past, other movies that have come to town, where people get really excited about it, but then there isn't, or there seems to be a bit of a blockade between local residents and what's going on with the production. And I don't mean a physical blockade, like you can't come on set, but just that sort of disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
And I have noticed that with a couple films that have been filmed here before, and they're going to spend that money anyway. Right? A production company that comes in and does this is going to spend the money ordering Starbucks or ordering food in from wherever and this kind of thing. Why not spend the money that you're already going to spend in the community that you're utilizing? It makes sense.
I agree.
Completely, yeah.
Well, I guess that wraps up our peek behind the curtain. Thank you, Ray,
Absolutely.
for joining us.
Thank
We
you for
really
having me.
truly appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess in that case, let's hop back to just you and I back in the two-chair studio.
Let's wrap up our review of Power Rangers
2017.
2017.
All right, big thank you to Ray for giving us a peek behind the curtain and his experience of having a major motion picture filmed right outside his front door of his business in downtown Kamloops. So thank you, Ray. That was
Very insightful.
Yeah.
It was very nice to hear that.
and entertaining.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was nice to hear that that his business wasn't like too negatively affected by anything, and that it was in fact a positive experience. I love hearing stuff like that. From an outsider where I wasn't affected by the filming, it
Mhm.
felt like the movie was positive, and it's glad to hear that it was positive for at least one of the business owners that was more dramatically affected by the filming.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a lot of fun.
All right. So, Kyle, you have some cool facts about this movie lined up for us.
Boy, do I.
I can't wait to hear them. Please share them with me and our listeners
Will do.
and watchers.
And watchers. So number one, this is the most linguistically confusing of my cool facts.
Okay.
So listen up, everybody. Many people thought that the character Billy Cranston was named after Bryan Cranston, who, of course, played Zordon in this movie.
Yeah.
But he also played the Twin Man and Snizzard in the 1993 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So because of these 2-3 Power Rangers roles, people thought it was a reference to him. But in actual fact, the name is in reference to a character who the original writer of Power Rangers, Haim Saban, tried to adapt into a Hollywood film and was rejected. So the filmmakers included this name as a reference to his rejected pitch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing to do with Brian.
All right.
So sad.
That is sad.
So moving on. A linguist created the language of Elgar for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Bryan Cranston, Bill Hader, and Elizabeth Banks all obviously had to speak this language. Bryan Cranston and Bill Hader had a terrible time learning the language, were barely able to pull it off, while Elizabeth Banks became fluent.
Fluent. Hmm.
So I've heard.
Good for her.
I even double checked this
Mhm.
from I read it as an original source, and then saw in an interview that she had a really good time learning the language, and then she whipped out some Elgar on the red carpet. I was impressed.
I wonder if she still knows it.
Like, if we ever meet her, we'll ask. Elizabeth, let us know, because that was really cool. I was impressed.
Nice.
But yeah, I thought that was really cool and really impressive. Deep immersion on her part. I wonder how fluent is fluent in a fake language as well.
Yeah. Who's checking on her?
Right?
She could have been speaking gibberish like the movie Nell. Have you seen Nell?
I've not seen Nell.
Don't watch Nell.
Don't watch Nell. Heard it here first. Maybe not first.
Horrible. Horrible. And I love Jodie Foster.
Yeah?
And Liam Neeson. And the movie is garbage.
Oh, I like them too. That's too bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, scooching on down the list.
Ooh, a little scoochy scooch.
Little scoochy scooch. The film opened in the U.S. on March 24th, 2017. Manny, what is the significance of March 24th in cinema?
March 24th?
March 24th.
No idea.
March 24th is the day that the Breakfast Club met in detention. This movie took inspiration from the Breakfast Club intentionally,
I'm so happy right now.
according to producers. When the film had to be delayed, they chose to release it on March 24th, potentially as a slight nod to the Breakfast Club.
Oh, that makes me happy.
In retrospect, knowing that they were going for a superhero Breakfast Club, the movie takes a bit of a different spin for me, and it's kind of nice. I can see it.
I love that movie.
They were also heavily influenced, and this is the superhero influence. It's supposed to be Breakfast Club meets the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans.
Mm-hmm. That's an understandable mix. I can get
Yeah.
on board with that.
100%.
Obviously not the same quality, but I can understand the mix.
Yeah, for sure. That was what I think at least one producer has alleged that they were going for.
Okay.
And you can see it.
Okay.
Yeah. Fun fact.
All right.
The last one. Not the last one. The fourth
second,
one.
The
second to last
the
one.
penultimate one.
The penultimate. Good word.
Thank you.
The source today. Ludi Lin, who plays the Black Power Ranger,
Mm-hmm.
went back to his own high school to prepare for the role, where he successfully blended in, asking students, where his classes were, saying he was a transfer student. He managed to sneak through.
Really?
Yes, until an old teacher recognized him and said, and I believe this is a direct quote, "Ludi, you're still here?" And he was caught and had to leave. I'm assuming he had to leave.
Well, I guess I want to say that's both impressive. I'd have to say that he must have went to a very large school because he does not look like a teenager.
Maybe when he was prepping for the role, it was a few years earlier, possibly.
I'm checking age.
Checking age.
30.
Oh, what?
He was born in
Oh,
87.
good for him, man. To even make it past anybody in a school at that age and
Yeah.
pass by. Good for him.
He didn't make it by on me. I'm like, that's why I was like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm not doubting you're definitely not doubting
Hey,
you.
listen, if my research is wrong, my research is wrong.
Yeah. I'm like, he can't pass for a teenager. He's 30.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, cool.
Supposedly he made it.
All right. Like I said, I'm not doubting that it happened.
Yeah.
I'm just doubting that he thought he could pull it off. I'm like, that's like almost like me going back to high school.
Well, supposedly he didn't think he pulled it off. He did pull it off for a while.
If I was a teenager in that school and I saw him like, we have a new substitute teacher. It's like he does not look like a teenager. At no point am I like, he's a teenager.
No, yeah. The cover story that I found was that he claimed to be a transfer student.
Dacre can pull it off.
Yeah.
Dacre's close. He's a little close. He looks
Dacre, and I think Becky G probably could have pulled it off at the time.
Becky G is the pink Power Ranger, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
100%. So can RJ.
Yeah.
And Naomi Scott, I have no problem believing that she's a teenager. A little old.
Yeah.
But at no point did I think Ludi Lin was a teenager.
No.
Okay. Cool.
But
is that all
I
of them?
think they also
Oh.
in the movie kind of allude to him maybe being held back a couple times or something, don't they?
A couple times? Are you allowed to hold kids back now? Aren't you? Doesn't everybody? I'm not getting into it. I'll just get angry.
you at least have a daughter, so you have skin in the game at the moment. So I get it.
Okay.
I've got one more for you. Calm you down. I never in a million years would I have thought that this might have been a possibility. It sounds like Iggy Azalea was offered the role of Rita Repulsa originally. She turned it down.
Has she acted in anything?
Not that I know of.
Well, thank God she didn't get it. Well, she could have been worse than Elizabeth Banks.
I think she could have been personally, but we'll never know because she wasn't cast.
I don't have much of a connection to her. Like, I know who she is. Like,
Yeah.
thankfully, I'm not that old. I'm close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am close. I know she has a song. Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah.
Is it that WAP song? Does she?
No.
Not her. That's not her.
Not her.
Okay, I know she has a song she's famous for. What is it? What's her famous
She
song?
she has a few. She
has a few?
She's been around for.
Okay. I'm not into music.
No, she has. She has. I think she collaborated on a song with like Ariana Grande and
Okay.
someone else.
All right.
My Iggy Azalea knowledge is not great.
Cool.
She has some good songs. I don't know.
Obviously,
She makes money. She lives on it.
she makes more money than me. That's not hard.
That is all of the trivia I have for you today.
Cool.
I hope it was fun and enjoyable for everybody.
It was delightful.
I'm glad to hear it.
Delightful.
Moving on.
Okay, what's next?
We will be talking about
Oh,
the cinematic impact that this movie had on our humble small town of Kamloops. Now, this is one of the films in this season that we'll be focusing on that was only shot in Kamloops.
mm-hmm.
They didn't use the surrounding areas. We like to touch on the whole TNRD here when we talk about the Kamloops area, but this was only Kamloops. So shout out to the city and all that. Yet again, loved that part of this movie.
Yep.
Now here's some little fun facts.
I can't wait to hear.
Obviously, some local crew was used, and the extra casting was almost entirely local.
Nice.
There
I
was,
was looking in the crowd to see if I recognize anybody.
yeah, I'm sure there's some people somewhere that we know. It might be one of those things like everyone's like a couple degrees away from someone who is in Power Rangers.
I mean, like, we do have over 100,000 people in our cities.
We do now.
Yeah,
At that time, population was a little lower.
not by much.
Actually, just this morning, we checked, me and a couple of boys at work.
Mhm.
Kamloops, the greater Kamloops area is currently around 114,000.
What?
Kamloops proper is 91. In 2016, it was somewhere in like the 70, 80,000,
No.
something like that. Proper,
Okay.
not greater Kamloops,
Okay.
Kamloops proper.
Okay.
So
Wait, so in
small.
6 years,
Guys-
6-7 years?
population in interior BC has exploded. Greater Kelowna is at 235,000 people.
What?
Blew my mind. I'm literally telling you this because it blew my mind this morning.
250,000 people?
Yeah, greater Kelowna area.
I'm fact checking.
Do it.
Anyways, go ahead. I'm not fact checking. I believe you.
So anyway, one of these extras was a local Power Ranger superfan named Mike Lukopoulos. I
Okay.
believe it's pronounced.
All right.
He was interviewed several times about his involvement in the show. He seems to have had a blast.
Nice. Oh, I love that for him.
Yeah, he was very excited about watching the movie and spotting himself. He is visible in one of the Victoria battle scenes,
Cool.
Victoria Street battle scenes. So yeah, shout out to Mike who got to live out maybe a childhood dream and be. I think he said he felt like a superhero,
Oh, I love that.
but knew that he wasn't quite a ranger.
oh,
So I loved that. I think
that makes me so happy.
yeah, I think that spoke a little bit to kind of how the city was feeling. Just being involved
Yeah.
it felt really cool as a city. And I didn't get to be an extra. I was in fact, I believe, denied. I think I applied. So props to the people who got to do it. For Mike, it was literally an email on I think Monday, and they said you're scheduled for Wednesday, and he made it work.
That rules.
Good for him, and good for all the people who got to have some fun on the Power Rangers
I'm
set.
so happy. I'm like legitimately happy for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope he's still happy with it, and I hope if they make another Power Rangers movie, they include him.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving on. So the alias name that Power Rangers used in Kamloops,
Mhm.
which it was not a very well kept secret.
No.
The only movie shooting in town, most likely, definitely the only one with budget.
Yeah.
They went by the alias name Shirt.
Shirt.
If in 2016 somebody making a movie told you that they were working on a movie called Shirt and you could never find it, it was Power Rangers. If that shocks you, I'm sorry. You need to figure yourself out.
That's super cool.
I think it's one of the worst alias names I've ever heard.
Okay.
Like Shirt. Who calls a movie Shirt?
I don't know. They made a movie called The Room.
But The Room it's ominous. It's a room. What's in the room? Shirt? What did they print on the shirt?
Didn't you watch a movie called Toilet of Death or something like
Death
that?
Toilet. Thank you very much. I don't have a retort.
I know you don't.
to that. I consumed that media with my own two eyes and ears.
Despite the plethora of films I've given you to watch, and you're like, I'm gonna watch Death Toilet.
I like putting some of these movies in the context of I haven't seen Schindler's List yet. And I'm just like, I'm watching Death Toilet before Schindler's List. And then I click play.
I hate you right now.
It's 3 hours. I got to have the right moment, you know?
I hate you right now.
How long did it take you to watch 12 Angry Men?
That's your only go-to. That's your only go-to.
You're a film guy. You should watch 12 Angry Men.
You work in the film industry. You should be watching Schindler's List and a plethora of other films.
You're so right. I think we...
Don't cut that.
Anyway, moving on. Obviously, downtown Kamloops got blown up. There was a couple of recognizable businesses. At the time, Zach's Coffee was the big one that people noted gets just obliterated in one of the scenes.
Okay.
But yeah, they used all of downtown, multiple streets, many locations, and destroyed pretty much the whole thing for the movie.
Yep. As we heard from Ray.
As we did hear from Ray. But finally, I think this speaks to a little bit about what we were talking about with Ray right at the end of his interview.
Mm-hmm.
Movies giving back to the community that they're in, especially in this case. I think this move is very important and very meaningful from the Power Rangers producers, the production company, whoever did this. $15,000 was given to the Kamloops CAP team.
Oh.
Do you know the CAP team?
Yeah.
Kamloops Care and Patrol Team. So they patrol downtown, keeping things nice, giving information to tourists, helping out in general. And I think they're run by the Business Improvement Association.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So Power Rangers donated $15,000 to them.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was
It's
sweet.
just a nice way to say thank you for letting us have your downtown core for a month. So I think that's the kind of thing that film everywhere, but especially film in small town areas or even like rural areas, like more rural than here. Movies should give back a little bit, especially when they're taking a lot from a place that isn't used to giving that.
Yep.
Somewhere like Vancouver or Toronto, they're so used to having things filmed around them. In my experience, people are much ruder about the fact that you're filming and the inconvenience of filmmaking
In a big city.
in a big city.
Yeah.
In a production hub city.
Yeah.
Vancouver is one of like the top production hubs for quantity in North America. We've been number one multiple times. So people...
Wait, we've been number one in North America?
Yeah.
Over LA?
Quantity.
Quantity.
Yeah. We are LA's like dumping ground for things that they can't afford or they want to save some money on. They shoot it in Vancouver because we're on the same time zone and they save money on the exchange. So we have been in quantity more than some of the bigger production hubs that are more well known. Fact check me. I think I'm right.
I'm just skeptical.
I get it.
Not like I would have no problem with Vancouver being number two. The number one, I'm like, there's always production of things in LA.
Yeah.
Like they have, like the whole entire studios are down there.
Well, here's a little just context for your area.
Okay.
Kamloops, I believe, has twice made like the top 10 or top 20 best small cities for filmmaking in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty close to Vancouver.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Right.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of wraps everything up that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
But now we have to decide how we're going to rate this movie. Now, being fans of Letterboxd, which uses a 5-star scoring system allowing half stars or half points, we've decided to emulate that same rating system. So we're going to be rating this movie out of 5 with half points being allowed.
That is correct.
Rate Power Rangers.
Power Rangers 2017 for me is a 2 out of 5.
A 2.
2.
Wow.
So I would like to put in context. Manny has another podcast called the
Samuel and Manuel Movie Podcast.
And your other podcast partner, Sam, put into context for me the difference between a 2 and a 3 for him.
Yes.
So a 3 is a good movie with bad parts. And 2 is a bad movie with good parts.
Yeah.
And there are plentiful good parts in Power Rangers for an overall bad movie.
Okay.
So sits at a 2 for me.
Nice.
How about you, Manny?
I'm giving it a 3.
A 3?
Yeah.
No way.
I'm giving it a 3.
Oh, that's great.
Because my excitement over seeing Kamloops on screen gave it a 1 full
Oh,
point.
man. Oh, that makes me want to give it a 3 now. I'm so sad I went first.
That's why I made you go first.
Oh, I hate you. That's so cool. I thought for sure it was getting a 1. And then when we talked about it today, I was like, okay, maybe he'll give it a 2.
I can't deny the joy I got out of seeing my hometown on the big screen. I can't deny the joy I got from, honestly, a good portion of the movie. It got too long.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I enjoyed more of the movie before they became Power Rangers. Getting to know the characters and all that was enjoyable for me. I just thought Dacre and I think it's Naomi Scott. I thought they had really great chemistry, and I really enjoyed them together. And RJ, I had a really good time watching as well. I don't know. Legitimately, it's a 2. It's a 2. It gets the 1 full point.
Wow.
Because it was filmed in Kamloops. Because they showcased, like, that Rose Hill shot
Yeah.
really changed everything for me. And then seeing 5 minutes from my house down the road, and a van full of nuns almost get smashed to smithereens. Not that I wanted them to, but they were all singing their song, and they didn't even notice the Zorb behind them, wrecking shop. But yeah, when that scene of seeing, like I said, literally 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, maybe 3 from my house, and that shot of Kamloops at 13 minutes and 58 seconds really brought this level of excitement to me that I wasn't anticipating, and I can't deny it. It's a 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. This is by far the best way to end the podcast for me. That makes me so happy. I love that for you. I love that for this city. I love that for the movie. And I mean, obviously, a lot of people have given it 3s or higher. It's 2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, like a lot of people agree.
Yep.
So maybe one day I will revisit this again.
I probably will not.
No?
Actually, that's not true. I definitely will.
Yeah.
Because I want to see if I can see the House of Carmond.
Yeah. Oh, we got to look for the House of Carmond.
And I'd like to double check the extras.
I want to try and find Mike.
Oh, me too.
But anyway, it's been a lot of fun.
It has been.
We've been reviewing Power Rangers 2017.
Yep.
And now we got to end the episode. So you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter. And you can also find us on YouTube. And if you ever feel like contacting us, if we got something wrong, if you just want to chat, if you have a contrary opinion to us and you want to share it, or if you agree with us and you want to share it, you can contact us in the DMs of any of those, or you can email us at smalltownbigscreen.pod@gmail.com. And that's our social.
That's it.
So come find us, like, share, do what you got to do. Get us popular, but small town popular, if you would.
Yeah.
For Small Town Big Screen, I'm Manny Manuel.
And I'm Kyle Robertson.
Adios.